Here at the Herman Pickle Company, we've been making freshly packed refrigerated pickles in Garrettsville, Ohio for nearly 60 years. Herman's Pickles. That's what a pickle should taste.
I would like to start off by saying that I'm truly and sincerely sorry for my actions. I did not mean to scare you all, and I'm sorry for that. I also did not intend to cause any harm to anyone whatsoever. I only had the intention of harming myself. However, I do take full responsibility in my actions. And what I did was not right at all. At the time, I wasn't right mentally, and I was going through a lot. I was still having trouble processing my mother's death from cancer in 2020. I have always had mental health issues when it comes to depression and anxiety. I was bullied when I was in middle school, and I've always had self-esteem issues. Many times I've thought about suicide, and some of those times I've tried. I'm not telling you these issues about my life to make excuses, but in the hopes that you can know me better or why I felt the way I did. In no way, shape, or form am I the same person as I was before. I am now doing everything in my power to be a different person. I am taking classes like RU and Climb to better my mental health. I would like to continue to better my mental health when I am in the real world. I do not want to go back to the old person I was. I want to better myself and accomplish my goals. Have family, hopefully maybe. Join the military. I'm not a bad person. All my life, I've been good. I've never gotten into trouble with the law or have gotten into any fights. I am a kind and helpful person and truly care for others. I just wish you were all able to know me as a better person and not the one I was during the dark time I went through. Please have mercy on me and please forgive me for what I've done. I promise if you give me a second chance, I will do whatever it takes to turn my life around. Thank you for your time.
I heard your statement that you made here in court today, and I read the statement that you submitted to the court prior to today's hearing. I read the letter of support from your dad, and I heard what your dad had to say here today, as well as your attorney. I understand that you were depressed, and I understand that you were in a horrible place after losing your mom. I'm not unsympathetic to the situation you were in, and I believe and understand that you were in a really bad place. But we did have, as Mr. Pleas pointed out, 2 evaluations from 2 psychologists who said that you knew the wrongfulness of your actions. This was not a snap, spur-of-the-moment decision. The evidence demonstrates that you had a plan. You've pled guilty to attempted murder. Mr. Pleas referenced the videos on your phone, both the ones that you made and the ones that you watched. You also packed a gun and 3 fully loaded magazines in your backpack and took them to school with you. And regardless of whether we believe the version that you were going to just hurt yourself or whether we believe the version that you planned a shooting, it's clear that you did have the intent to use that gun in the school. Once again, based on what was found in the videos on your phone, based on the fact that you took 3 fully loaded magazines, the evidence does show that you planned to carry out a school shooting. You may have wavered back and forth, but at least that was a plan. Now we know that no one was physically hurt by your actions that day. But we can't say that nobody was hurt. The entire community was terrorized. When that shelter in place occurred, it was terrifying for the students, it was terrifying for the faculty and staff, it was terrifying for their parents and families. And some of the responding officers that responded that day were some of the same ones that had to respond to Chardon High School. You can't say no harm was done to them. Your conduct in establishing this plan and taking action to carry it out has to be taken seriously, and the sentence has to reflect the seriousness of that matter. For that reason, I find that the state's recommendation is appropriate. As to count 1, I sentence you to a term of prison of 8 years in prison. Due to the Reagan-Tokes law, then there would be an additional possible 4 years that would be at the discretion of the Ohio Department of Rehabilitation in the event that that additional time is imposed. You would be entitled to a hearing. So that would be a total possible maximum of 12 years.